The first thing that is really good to talk about with email is the fact that lots of people think that email marketing doesn't work anymore, and that, it's all about social media, it's all about messenger bots, it's all about, the next thing that's going to kill email marketing. And the truth is, like, for all businesses, I mean, you guys know this, for all businesses, email is still like the number one converter of sales generally. Like, it's just awesome. So we have a philosophy that is you should build your audience on social media, but build your business by email, because that's like where you own the data and everything's going to be great. So I think for us, the first thing is there's this massive mindset shift that loads of people need to have. That is, I write an email and I send it to my list because I want to make a sale, and therefore that benefits me as the business owner, and it probably doesn't benefit the subscriber very much unless they happen to want that thing at that exact moment in time. And therefore that's why I can't send too many emails, because then I'm going to annoy my subscribers unless I send loads of content for ages first. And we have this massive thing that's just all wrong. And if we just flick a switch in our brain to say, do you know what, every single time you hit send on an email, even if that email sells something, it can have value in a whole bunch of different ways. It can make them smile, it can make them happy, it can make them feel good. They can forward it to a friend because they like your email that much, even though it's still selling something at the bottom. They can reply and tell you how much they love it. Like, literally every day we get replies to our emails saying, really needed this today. Like, about 2 months ago, we got a reply to an email from a lady who'd just been made redundant, and her email said, today I found out I'm getting made redundant. I needed to see this email today. This has made me feel amazing. And that was a really short email, like 170, 180 words, including a sales pitch. But the email itself made her feel so good. She needed to reply and tell us about it at possibly one of the hardest times she's going to go through in her adult life. So I think the first thing we need to understand is that email is not only a way of selling stuff, but it's a really good way of delivering value. Like, if you're flicking through Instagram and you see a quote that really resonates with you, you might like it, you might comment it, you might even share it to your Instagram story so that other people see it. And people seem to have marketers generally seem to have a real differentiation between that happens on social media and, well, now I'm going to send an email to sell some stuff. They never see it as like that email could be just as valuable as that Instagram post. I think that's the first thing. That's the first like big misconception we really want to change in the world of email.
Yeah, I think when it comes to email, there's really three things. These are three things that I've identified that I know we've struggled with in the past, and I'm assuming a lot of our listeners struggle with. And I really think so. One is how to grow an email list. I don't really necessarily feel like we need to talk a whole lot about that on this episode, because we've had tons of episodes on Facebook ads, Google ads, organic social media, SEO, all that kind of stuff, which is all used to grow your email list. The other two, for me at least, have been what to write about. One of my big struggles is I try to email very consistently. So I'm trying to email at least 4 or 5 times a week. If I had an idea for an email every day, I would email every day. But I honestly run out of things to write about to promote the same things over and over again. So that's one. And then the other one is actually getting engagement when I do email. So I'll email and I'll go, cool, this just went out to 15,000 people. Why did I only get 75 clicks on it? Right? Like, so those are really the two struggles that I think we could probably hone in really well on this episode, is the, like, how do we figure out what to write about? And once we know what to write about, how do we actually make sure people are opening and clicking those emails?
So the good news is, it's actually everybody overcomplicates this. And the thing is, we struggle with the same thing. So we struggled sitting down thinking, how am I going to email every single day? Which is what we do. We email 365 and we get replies 365 from people who like it, and we get clicks and we get sales, obviously, all of that maximum stuff. Great. So a couple of things is on the click-through rate thing. Everyone's like, how many clicks am I getting? How many clicks am I getting? What's a good open rate? We often get asked that kind of thing. Let's put that one to bed first of all. I really don't care that much what my click-through rate is. I really don't care that much what my open rate is. I care on a sort of macro level that, that kind of style of subject line, people go bonkers for and bananas for. They love that. And that one people hate and it gets reported and that's not good. So as general sort of day-to-day ideas, that's fine. But actually what I care about is the macro number. And our number is literally this. What the stat we really care about is, what is our earnings per subscriber? That's all I care about. So I go back, I look at January and I go, how many people are on my list? How much did we earn from that list? Divide one number by the other. That's how much we made. And then we go at the next month and we do the same. Is that number, the earnings per subscriber per month, is it going up or is it going down? If it's going up, we're doing good, valuable stuff to our list. And the great news is It doesn't matter how big your list is. Whether you think you've got a tiny list, and by the way, we have people on our program, on our membership, who come and go, I've only got a small list of 20,000 people, and I'm worried. And they go, whoa. And we've got other people who go, I've only got, and we've got members of our program who've got a list of like less than 100 who are doing 6 figures. So like all that stuff doesn't matter, because if you use that macro measurement of earnings per subscriber, if I've got one person on my list and he's paying me £1 million, I'm going to be okay with that. Like we've got to remember that's what we pay our bills with. That's the first thing. So let's just not worry too much about that click-through rate and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. In terms of what to write, so we have the same thing. We sat down and we said, how do we make this easier? Like that's all we do all day long, is we look at stuff we're doing on our business and we go, how do we make that faster? How do we make that easier? That's all we're asking all day long on our businesses. How do we make that better? That is it. And so we've got a few different techniques that we teach. Let's go through a couple of them. So basically, at the end of each day, I've got a Google Sheet, nothing fancy, just a fancy, it's a Google Sheet. I mean, Google Sheets are really fancy. Okay,
pretty
Google
good.
Sheet. Yeah, right. And I just ask myself, what is the least boring, the least crap thing that happened today? That's all I ask. What's the least boring thing that happened today? And then I write it down. It doesn't have to be a great thing that happened. It could be as simple as Rob, the other week, he was reaching into his airing cupboard and he was trying to grab a towel or something out, and some shower gel, like a spare bottle of shower gel, fell out of the thing and made a mess of the spare bed sheets he's got. That turned into an email. And so what we do is we come up with stories, and we use a simple framework. We call it the traditional. We've got like 4 different frameworks we use for these daily emails. One of them is called the traditional. And this is what it is. It's basically you go story and you write the story without thinking, how does this relate to my product, or what is even the message? Like neither of those things matter, because when you do this, you get a free shoehorn with every email. All right. Free shoehorn and a handbrake, so you can handbrake turn into an offer. They come for free. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit down every day, and we both do this for separate lists, and we sit down and we write the story. And then it's only when you're writing the story about the least boring thing that happened yesterday, when you're writing it, you will go, there's a lesson in this for, in our case, our email marketing heroes people. There's an email marketing lesson in this. It's in this case of Rob reaching in and spilling shower gel over the bed sheets. You might think, well, what's that going to do with email marketing? Rob talked about, do you ever overreach? And he turned that into a story and a lesson about email marketing. And then you segue from the lesson. So you go story, lesson, offer. Okay. The lesson is this. And guess what? We help you with that lesson in our program, The League, which is our membership. So that that's literally the format we use. I would say about 70% of the time we use that one particular framework. So that's one really good way of coming up with stories every single day. They don't need to always be funny or wild. They just need to be the least boring thing that happened yesterday.